It is Friday at 5 p.m. This is when we come together, provide an update on the coronavirus, and we recommit ourselves each and every day to doing what it takes to defeat this adversary. I want to start like I did yesterday, and I want to keep doing this every day. And that's by us saying together what we know is true, that we will get through this. We will get through this together. And I want you to say it with me. We will get through this. We will get through this together. One more time. We will get through this. We will get through this together. May seem hokey, but in the next weeks or months, it's going to take all the strength that we have, and it is our collective strength. It is all of us coming together unified as patriotic Americans and Kentuckians that is going to protect the people around us. I said yesterday that I've never been prouder to be the governor of the Commonwealth of Kentucky. It's absolutely true. What you all are sacrificing and what you're doing is amazing. So tonight, as promised, we're going to start with a video. This is made for elementary school kids. I have two of those. I have a son, Will, who is in 5th grade, and a daughter, Lila, who is in 4th grade. And as they're living through this, they have to hear a lot about this with me on the phone and doing other things. My daughter came across a quote in one of her favorite movies right now, and the kids can tell their parents what this is, but I'm going to leave it with you, and we'll start the video. When no one can see the future, all you can do is the next right thing.
You know that kids sometimes show stress responses also, and sometimes in ways that are different from the ways that adults show those responses. Kids may be more aggressive during this time or cry more than they typically do. They may have increased separation anxiety, and that could even include like difficulty with parents going into the other room. They might have difficulty with sleep patterns or eating patterns. They're more hungry or less hungry than they typically were. They're having trouble at night with nightmares and things like that. Kids show anxiety in lots of different ways. They know what's going on around them, and we sometimes assume that because they're young children, they don't know what's happening, or they aren't as in tune with what's going on, but they're very attuned with their caregivers' responses and what's going on in the environment. So I think being honest with kids as much as possible, but also parents recognizing that it's important to take care of themselves during this time. Some things parents and caregivers can do to make sure and decrease some of that stress response for kids. Get down on the floor and play with your kids. Find times every day to get outside and take a walk. Look for the sensory things around you. What can you see? What can you hear? What can you smell? What can you taste? And also helping keep your kids on a predictable routine. Put up a visual schedule. Come up with the things that you're planning on doing that day. Something else we can do for kids is make sure to offer choices whenever we have choices to offer them. It helps increase their sense of control and the ways that they are able to control situations in a relatively uncontrollable time for a lot of kids. Continue to provide ways to get together with friends, maybe social distancing, do a FaceTime call with a friend of theirs or a cousin or somebody, grandparents, things like that. If we can't physically get together in person, we can still provide some of that social connection for kids that is so important. And again, predictability and routines, and making sure that we recognize that behavior that we're seeing in our kids is kind of the tip of the iceberg. It's really just kids showing us that they need something connected for them. I think a lot of times we talk about attention seeking with kids, and if we can reframe attention seeking as connection seeking and recognize that those behaviors are ways that kids are reaching out to us to connect with us and find ways to feel safe and secure in a scary time, then I think that's the best thing that we can work to provide for our children.
Hello, I am here today to talk with you about things that you can do at home with your children during this time. I know for many of you, you're wondering what are some different tools that you might have around your house, and I brought some here today to share with you. I do want to remind every parent out there that the best thing that you can do during this time with your child is to remain calm and connect and to read. When you read with your child, they associate reading with love, and they also learn that words have meaning, and those meanings can make up thoughts in a book. If you have an infant at home, soft books like this are a really great thing to be able to read on a daily basis. You can talk about shapes and colors and textures, and they can hold the books in their hands while they read with you in your lap. If you have a toddler, an older child at home, you can use books that encourage different patterns and repetitions, such as animals, which I really like this book because you can talk about the different sounds that the animals make and the different jobs that they have on a farm. You can also talk about the different colors that you see in this book. When you read with your child at home, it's a really, really great opportunity for you to be your child's first teacher and to be your child's best teacher. As you are working over the next couple of weeks, you can use items like this bowl and wooden spoons in your home, from infants all the way on up to toddlers and to preschoolers. They can do different things. Babies love to tap on bowls and to make different sounds, which is a really, really great learning experience. And with your toddlers, if you get brave, you can put different items like water, or if you have rice or beans that you're willing to use, to go ahead and stir around and to pour and to play with that. And that will give you some really great opportunities to learn at home in the kitchen. If you're like me, I have my 3-year-old at home with me now, and my husband, and we've been working from home the last couple of weeks. We have a lot of laundry, and so laundry is a great way for you to connect with your children. For babies, you can hand them socks, and they can experiment with the different textures under your supervision, and you can also talk about colors and shapes and patterns and matching with older children. My 3-year-old is getting to the point where he's able to match socks with us, and we're able to fold them up with him. During this time, I really want to encourage you to remain as calm as possible and to reach out and to connect with your children. This is what they will remember most during this time, is the safety and the connection that they feel at home with you when you're reading a book with them in your lap, or when you're remaining calm and doing fun things like cooking in the kitchen or playing with different things in the laundry.
All right, I want to thank our folks at the Cabinet for Health and Family Services. And we're going to try every other day or every third day to just have a video targeted to different populations, because the stresses can be different depending on where you are in life and what's going on at home as we deal with the anxiety that is the coronavirus. Now I'm going to talk about the good things we see out there on social media.